answering? Why you not answering? I said, because I'm sleeping. He was like, oh, I really like you and you're not answering the phone, like going insane. And I said, you know what, I'll call you tomorrow. I see that you've been drinking. He's like, I'm not drunk. I'm not fucking drunk. I'm not fucking drunk. I'm not fucking drunk. Hi guys, this is another story time. Hi, my name is Tasha. I do have another channel called Tasha Reacts where I do reactions. Check me out. And I do have another channel called Tasha's Society where I do beauty, hair, everything beauty over there. Check me out over there too. I want to say thank you guys for all you guys who have subscribed to me. Check me out. Truly appreciate you guys. Alright, so this is another story time. Alright, so if you guys didn't watch the next story time, this is the time frame that me and motivation. Whoa, motivation must have been in my mind. Me and alcoholic started talking. So I'm gonna say the time frame, how I met alcoholic, and then the time frame of alcoholic. So this is just gonna be the beginning stages of alcoholic. We're just introducing him, right? So when so I knew alcoholic back in the days, right? So I met alcoholic when me and my son's father was really kind of doing bad. My son's father really started mistreating me really badly, and this is the time frame, like this is when he started getting the house, right? So my son's father ended up getting the house, and I gave my son's father my last money, and then he tried to play it off with his mother like, oh, I surprised Tasha with the house, like, so everybody thought this was his money when so my son's father's name is the devil, so this is baby daddy number 2. So the son, I gave the devil $10,000. He had over $26 credit cards of debt. So he asked me for $10,000, which was my last, which I was stupid. I gave him the last of my money. He cleared half his credit card to get his credit score to a certain amount and put a certain amount of money down as a deposit for the house, right? We already spoke about the house, but then I wasn't in the house. He bought the house. He said, this is for the kids. I ended up giving the man the last of my money. He ended up getting the house. So this is the time frame he got the house, and he started changing. So I lived in Pawtucket. This is when I lived in Rhode Island. We were renting a house with really nice people, and my son's father really started treating me really bad, right? So he would never be home. He would sleep in the other house. I'll pop up, try to knock on the door. He wouldn't let us in. He was telling me, oh, you're not allowed in the house. Mind you, I helped him get this house. So I helped him get the house. Then he called me to ask me for closing costs for the house. I had the money. I just knew, I was like, all right, because he asked me for another $5,000 for closing costs. I didn't give it to him because I was like, yo, I gave this man my last $10,000 and now he want $5,000. I would have really got played. If he played me for $15,000, yo, it's crazy. So his mom ended up giving him the closing costs money for the house, right? Because he was going to lose everything. Mind you, he had no money, okay? So he ended up having the house. He started feeling himself. I mean, macho, started feeling himself, telling people, oh, I'm not moving to the house. He don't want to be with me no more. Like, telling everybody, right? So he really started kind of treating me badly. Yo, I mean, this man was an asshole towards me, man. Mind you, like, I had nothing. I gave him everything. So I'm like, kind of at the time, I think I was like on food stamps too, because I wasn't working anymore. I ended up having I think it was my third miscarriage. My third miscarriage, yeah, because I got pregnant with him twice and I lost it. And the last time I started getting really sick. I mean, I was sick. My hair was falling out. I was getting really fat. He kept telling me, oh, you're not pretty anymore, fat shaming me, dissing me, putting me down. So I ended up meeting alcoholic on Instagram. So Instagram, I was like, you know what? I was like really lonely because at the time, Devil was sleeping at the other house. So I was really by myself at the house. His daughter started kind of like bullying me. It was like crazy. Like everybody started switching because I'm like, what the hell's happening? So he started being like really like changing. So when he ended up changing, his father was like, oh, if he don't want to put you in the house, call the police. You know, because at the time, his father and his mother was on my side. Well, his mother wasn't. His mother was, Devil's mother was like flip-floppy. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, no, you're not moving the house, whatever. So I met Devil, becoming really cool. But I just didn't have the heart to cheat on devil, right? So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I started talking to Alcoholic all the time. Like, Alcoholic and I would have a conversation. But I remember we had this one time we were speaking, right? And this is the day that I was trying to call the devil to ask the devil, like, I was, when are we moving? He's like, you're not moving to the house. I don't want you in my house. You can renew the lease with the apartment, well, the house that we're renting, but you're not moving to my house. I said, my nigga, I helped you move to the house. Like, I was distraught. So I was telling the devil, like, yo, this nigga ain't nothing. Like, why are you with this man? He ain't shit. Like, why are you with him? He's a bum. Like, going in, like, whatever. And my mom was living with us at the time, right? I'm explaining to my mom, like, what's going on. I was like, what's happening to him? Like, I mean, like, this house gave this man this ego. So I'm like explaining, I'm like, yo, this man's making me go back and forth. I went to go talk to the landlord. The landlord's like, well, we're going to sell the house. And you don't have income, because at the time I wasn't working. He said, how are you going to pay for rent? My mom said, I can help. And he's like, yeah, we can't because you don't have income. And the devil had, was working, and you both had whatever. That's the only reason why I got the apartment, because it was my income and his income together. So they wouldn't let me renew the apartment, the house at the house. And he's like really bad, treating me like shit, like telling niggas you ain't coming to the house. He had a friend, his friend, the same thing. Everybody was just like bad. Like, I just used to cry every day. So me and Alcoholic started becoming my comfort. So Alcoholic kept saying, yo, you're the shit. You need to find a place to live. You need to find this, you need to find that. You're strong as shit. Like, yo, don't let this nigga play you. Like, this man don't really like you. Like, he came up through you. Like, you gotta go to court, you gotta go to this. I said, no, I'm done, because I gave, like, so what happened was I gave the devil so I got into a car accident, right? I got a big settlement check. The devil used to stalk the lawyer, and I used to tell the lawyer, don't tell him when I get the money. Whenever the devil knows I'm getting money, yo, my nigga, he will bother me. Rent, taxes, anything. Money, money, money. Like, he is like money hungry. He will use you for all your money. The devil hated me so much. Like, I would have shoes, right? He will use my shoes as sandals. Like, yo, the devil, he hated me. Like, hated me, right? So, he will like do like crazy things. We'll get into arguments. I'll argue with him. But at a point, I started losing myself. Like, I started becoming weak, because now I'm like, dang, I got 2 kids. I gave this man everything. Like, and he's like telling me I'm getting out. Like, he don't want me there. Like, arguing with me, right? All right, cool. And I think because the fact at the time I was sick and I couldn't work. I could not work. So every job I had to keep leaving because I got sick. And he kept saying like, oh, he was low key like, when like people like the most abusive, like Ike and Tina, he was abusive. And his friend George, and I always say George's name on purpose, allowed him to mistreat me. I used to talk to George, him and his ugly wife. He had this ugly wife. Oh, his wife was so ugly. She was nice, but she was fake. Like, she was the type of girl, like, she used to be so happy that the devil used to treat me bad. Like, oh, that don't seem like the devil. The devil's a really good guy. Like, and it's like, they were like trying to like fuck my life, like fuck with my mind, because in a way I think they envied my life. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of people looked at the devil and not noticing I'm the reason why the devil is here. I met the devil with a roach infested house, living with his mom, didn't even have a room, sleeping on a couch. So it's like, I had such big plans for him, and he did a whole 360. Mind you, he would not have that place. Like, he wouldn't go far if it wasn't for my taxes, if it wasn't for my money. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't be far. He wouldn't have the nice cars. He wouldn't have it. I was the money. You know what I'm saying? So he was like very like, he was kind of like very materialistic. Like, he liked it, like material things, right? So I was like, end up telling Alcoholic like what I'm going through. You know, I'm very like, depressed. I'm like explaining. Alcoholic's like, yo, you don't know you're fine. Like, you're fine. Like, you're fine. And I was like, I know. I know I'm very depressed. I'm like, I just don't know how it got this bad and blah, blah, blah. Like, trying to make excuses, because in a way, I spent 8 years with this man, right? 8 years. I took care of this man's daughter. I did everything low key. I left his baby mother low key. Didn't have to take care of her kid. I did it. I did everything for them. I made their life easy. Because I cared so much, they took the way that I cared and they used it. They used me. You know what I'm saying? So alcoholic was low-key like the person who was kind of pushing me and blah blah blah, right? So me and alcoholic started talking all the time. So one day alcoholic was like, yo, I'm going to go to a party, I'm gonna call you back, right? So I was like, all right, cool, whatever. So alcoholic ended up calling me on FaceTime, and he's drunk, and I don't like men that drink. I don't like it. He's drunk, he's belligerent, he's arguing, and his friend is like, yo, I'm gonna call you back. I said, do you want me to come pick him up? Because he's acting a fool, right? But at a point, I'm like, you know, I'm still in a relationship with my baby daddy. I don't want to, I'm still in a relationship with the baby daddy, the devil. I don't want to start trouble, you know what I'm saying? So I said, if he needs me, I'll pick him up, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But his boy's like, nah, don't worry about it. I'll drop him off. Okay, so fast forward, I kind of dropped him from there. I'm like, you know what? This ain't the type of man for you. You're kind of going through a lot too, so I kind of dropped him. Like, I didn't talk to him. He'll call me. I didn't write him. And I was in a relationship with the devil, so I said, you know what? I don't want to cheat. I'm not going to do all that. Let me just stay faithful to him and whatever, right? So I stayed. We ended up moving to the house after all his nonsense. Then we got to the house. He started mistreating me. I'll tell the story about that. Then I ended up getting locked up because he started mistreating me really bad with my kids. Had his daughter and his nephew threaten to like punch me in my face. Mind you, the kids that I raised them. His daughter was talking about I'm jealous of her and her. Like, it was crazy. Like, it was crazy. Like, it was just so crazy how everybody went against me. Like, everybody. His mom went against me. His dad went against me. He's crying like a girl. Like, does that hit me? Like, I think I lost all his respect. Mind you, it's just crazy. And so fast forward, I stayed by myself for 3 years. I ended up meeting Triflin's brother. If you guys know, that's the last story time. Me and Triflin's brother started like drifting away, right? So alcoholic slowly came back, right? So I started dating alcoholic, right? Alcoholic was back, cool, you know, he kept asking me, please Tasha, can I see you? Can I see you? I didn't want to, like, I never did internet, because technically he's an internet man. I never met a man on the internet, but I've been talking to alcoholic for so long. Alcoholic follows me on all my social medias. Alcoholic supports me. Like, I mean, every social media. Everything I do, alcoholic follows me, right? So, so we end up talking. Yeah, alcoholic is cool as shit. Like, one thing alcoholic is cool, bro. He's a very attractive dude. He's a little husky. He got long dreads. Like, yo, dreads, his hair is like beautiful. Long dreads, right? So I was like, you know what? Alcoholic was like really cool. So I used to, at the time, I still was, Triflin's brother was kind of drifting away. You know, I was like still trying to keep it alive, but after that whole remark, like, I didn't like you, I really liked your sister, I kind of didn't like him anymore. So every time we're like, we're gonna do our last time, I think God was like, nah. And then he was like feeling himself because, you know, he got a new job. So it was like he started becoming like, I stopped like he wasn't the dude that I liked anymore, right? So alcoholic and I started talking all the time. We used to be on the phone. But this is the time frame that Judah, if you guys don't know who Judah is, Judah used to be my best friend that ended up getting locked up, and then he ended up playing with my, you know, whatever, ended up getting locked up and all that, whatever. So Judah was my best friend, right? So Judah came back in my life, right? So this is around the time frame like me and Judah just started becoming like Judas popped up like, hey, what's up, whatever, you know. And I was like mad at Judas because I held him down for all these years. He ended up being with his new girlfriend, dropped me, and then kept popping up. Like, he kept doing this mind thing, like, you're my friend, but he's never around when I have a problem. He's never around when I'm going through something. He's never around when my baby father put me out. He's never around when I was homeless. He's never around, but whenever Judah needs me, that's when he's around. It's always, oh, I'm so sorry to you know I'm going through. It's always what I'm going through, but Judah's never there for me, never. So this is the time for Judas started coming around. But I didn't really take Judas serious because Judas did have a girlfriend that he ended up getting married after playing mind games, talking about, oh, I'm the love of his life, he really loves me, and blah, blah, blah. And then ended up marrying his girlfriend about a couple of months later after talking to me for a whole year. Yo, insane. But if you guys don't know that story time, that I think is in the timeline, whatever, right? So this is the time for Judah comes like, just starts coming around. I think Judah wrote me like around that time. So I was kind of talking to him And then, okay, so when I finally started giving Alcoholic a chance, so I'm talking to Alcoholic all the time. Trifling's brother was still around, but Alcoholic was more important than him. So I kind of dropped Trifling's brother in a way. So Trifling's brother will talk to me, but if Alcoholic called me, well, okay, I'll call you later, and I'll just whatever. So at a point we started doing, like, I think Alcoholic started getting the picture, and I started getting the picture because we weren't really talking anymore. And then he'll talk about, you know, when people try to be like, oh, you still miss this, like, and it's just like, you know, I think you miss me. Because sometimes when people think they really be putting it down on you and you're just satisfying them, and I'm the type of person, I would boost your ego. I'm like, oh yeah, you the best I ever had. Baby, every dude I mess with, I tell them they're the best I ever had. I don't know. It's just like, I just like to boost your ego. But, baby, the best I ever had, child. Anywho, so yeah, so Alcoholic, I ended up talking to Alcoholic, right? So Alcoholic kept asking me over and over, when am I going to see you? When am I going to see you? When am I going to see you? I said, all right, you know what? One day I was coming from work, and he's like, Tasha, when am I going to see you? I don't think I had a car anymore, right? I was kind of using I wasn't using my mom's car yet. So I was kind of taking the bus and taking Uber back and forth, dropping Jeremiah off, whatever, to my mom's, whatever. I suffered. I suffered. I think Trifling probably put a demon. After Trifling's brother left, I suffered again. It's like I went through the same thing I went through with the devil, right? So now I'm suffering. I'm losing everything. My car got repo. I don't have no money. I'm struggling. I'm behind on rent. Everything's going bad, right? So I end up like talking out. I was like, you know what, fine, I'll meet you at, you know, I gave him my mom's address, but I didn't give her my address. I just gave him like the park across the street. And then he was like, what? Like, you really want to meet me? I said, yeah, sure. Yeah, he's like, what? You're serious? Like, you want me? I mean, I've been talking to him low-key on and off for like 6-7 years. I ain't gonna lie. That's how much he'd be like, come on, Tasha, just give me a chance. So when I said yeah, he's like, what? You want me? You serious? Like, bro, I'm not even dressed. I'm just coming from work. I don't care. I'm not risking it. I'm not risking it. So he's like, I gave him the address. He's like, you're serious? You're serious? Like, yeah, honestly, it kind of boosted my ego because yes, I have. A lot of dudes that, like, it kind of made me notice my worth. I wish I noticed this when I was younger before having baby daddies, because I always thought I was not pretty. I always had low self-esteem. Like, my son's father, like, if you see him and you see me and you're like, how do you get with him? It's certain people, like, you're like, Tasha, really? And I really kind of like, honestly, he made me see my worth, because the way he was acting, like I was a celebrity. Like, he was like, yo, you really gonna let me meet you? Oh my God, like, yo. He's like, I don't care, I'm gonna wait for you. Like, I ended up coming to whatever. He was there in the car, you know, he had like his work outfit on. And he was a handsome guy. He's handsome. He's just not my type. I don't like bigger guys. But he's big, but he's not sloppy big. He's like firm big, right? So, you know, I say hi. He's like, kept looking at me. He's like, Tasha. I said, yeah. He's like, Tasha's the sign. I said, yes. He's like, yo. It's just like, he's like, Tasha, I swear, I can die today. I could die today, right? And I said, okay. But he just made me feel like I was the most special woman in the world. Like, no lie. Like, he built my self-esteem in a way until, like, you know, in a way, even though, like, I went through a point, like, I was like lonely because after Alcoholic, I dated this Haitian immigrant dude and he was a bum. He didn't have no, I'm gonna call him Crack, right? So Crack, he didn't have no money. So I was kind of like his come up. Like, he kept asking me, I'll let you use my car, but I had to pay his insurance. He was like a low class Haitian. But honestly, even when I dated him, and I was like, I liked him, but in a way I still was like feeling myself, because I just started at a point like noticing, like, all right, Tasha, you're just meeting the same man over and over. You went from alcohol, you went from the devil to Trifling's brother to Alcoholic to Judah to the devil, okay? And not the devil, to Crack. Like, all these men are exactly the same men, all of them. You know what I'm saying? They hurt you the same way. They're all exactly the same people. So at a point I was like, all right, Tasha, I got, you know, you just stay by yourself. But all these was time frames, okay? So I honestly, I don't even care if it's not. I'm grown. So So he just kept like, he was like in the days like, yo, I could die today, I could die today, right? So I said, okay. So he ended up going to, he went on vacation because I met him 2 weeks before his birthday. He was going on vacation, but he reminds me same thing as Devil. He acts like Devil, you know what I'm saying? So he had mad credit card debts, same thing. So I already knew it wasn't going far. As soon as I heard him have credit card debts, I said, oh yeah, this ain't my type. I'm not dealing with a man that I can't do the credit card debt thing again, right? So, you know, we started like, he went to whatever trip. He wasn't really talking to me as much. So then he comes back, right? So he comes back and I'm like asking alcoholic, like, you know, oh, how was your trip? But, you know, how did it go? You know, he's like, oh, everything went good, right? So now we started dating. I started dating alcoholic probably like a couple of months. And yeah, so, okay. I'm gonna do this for a part 2 because this story's getting too long. So I started dating alcoholic for a couple of months, right? So alcoholic, one day we was having a conversation, we was talking on the phone, and alcoholic was talking about like, you better never break my heart, I really like you, I really care for you. But at the time I kept telling alcoholic, I'm not really ready for a boyfriend. You know, I just explained to him about like Trifling's brother and how Trifling's brother had like a baby mother that he was living with. He was kind of playing with my emotions, and I was kind of like explaining to him like the dynamic. Like, you know, I was like, I need to notice that, you know, men don't, like, when a man don't really like you, like, you know, he's paying his baby mother's bills, even though he lived there, but, you know, and I'm your quote unquote girl and I'm struggling, you know. So I said, you know, it has to get to a point that you got to learn that when a man doesn't like you, because they show you it, you know what I'm saying? It's like, in a way, the only thing he was using me low-key is just to do bang bang chicken bang bang, you know. So I was trying to explain to him. He's like, yeah, you're right, blah blah blah. So alcoholic was the type of person, he always had gatherings at his house, which he reminds me of my baby dad. It reminds me of the Devil, because the Devil is that type of person. He'll have parties, he'll throw parties, you know, always out doing parties. Won't help their kid's mother or won't do certain things, but they will always have a party, child. So he was like having a party. So alcoholic is the type of guy, like he could cook. Oh my God, nobody could cook like alcoholic. Okay, he cooked, like he was cooking. So we're on the phone, we're talking. He's like, yo, I'm planning a party, can you come over? I said, nah, I'm not gonna come, right? I didn't feel like going. First of all, I don't like really being around people like that. So he was like, I'm planning a party. So this was like almost like on the summertime, he's always having a party and he always has people. So he had like a whole bunch of people at the house, and he's telling everybody like, this is my girl and she's beautiful, da da da. And I'm like, damn girl, like, you know. And everybody's saying hi, but there's mad people coming in and out the house. So he's just passing the phone, like whatever. And I said, you know what, have him call me later. I'm just gonna go to bed and relax, right? So alcoholic ends up calling me that night, and he's drunk. Oh my God. And I forgot about this side of alcoholic since I lived with the Devil, right? So I'm like, yo, what the hell? So alcoholic's calling, blowing up my phone. It's mad late, right? So I'm like, yeah, what's up? He was like, oh, why you not answering? Why you not answering? I said, because I'm sleeping. He was like, oh, I really like you and you're not answering the phone, like going insane. And I said, you know what, I'll call you tomorrow. I see that you've been drinking. He's like, I'm not drunk. I'm not fucking drunk. I'm not fucking drunk. I'm not fucking drunk. I said, I'll call you tomorrow. I see that you've been drinking. What conversation? No, if you hang up the phone, you don't have to fucking call me no more. Don't fucking call me. Don't fucking call me. I said, alright, cool. I hung up. He called my phone, crying. No, why you hang up on people? Why? You don't know what love is? You know what love is? I said, yo, I will talk to you tomorrow, right? He said, you promise? You promise? I said, yeah, no problem. I promise, right? So he calls me the next day. Mind you, he's like, what happened? What happened? Why you didn't call me back yesterday? He called me in the morning time. No, he called me like in the afternoon, right? 12, because I at a point I was like, yo, I'm not going to go far with this man. So he calls me like around 12-ish, 1-ish. I think that time, this is the time frame that Judah is trickling in. So Judah is coming in my life because Judah came in January. I started talking alcoholic in December. Okay? So Judah's coming in my life pretending, you know, he got drunk, right? So he started asking me the next day, like, oh, what happened? Why, you know, what, you know, whatever. And I was like, yo, I'm going to kind of drop you. I don't have time for the alcohol. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to, you know, cuss you out, whatever. Then he ended up having a party, right? He ended up having a party for his birthday, okay? And I'm going to leave that for part 2, okay? This is the time frame that Judah started coming in. I'm gonna leave this for part 2. This is when his little spirit demon thing revealed itself to me. So I'm gonna leave this for a part 2. Okay, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.